Gunman shot 26 people, most of them 6- and 7-year-olds.
We're evacuating people, we're evacuating people.
Sandy Hook. I think it was an anniversary of it, and I saw something that came across. And my heart broke for those families, and I just thought about what would my kids do if they were in a situation like that? Like, what would my husband do if he was in a situation like that? Like, how can we help them?
Kate Carlton has seen the very worst of humanity as a trauma nurse at Sutter Roseville Medical Center just outside of Sacramento. After Sandy Hook, the young mom took on a new mission: to empower kids, really young kids, to do something during the unthinkable.
How much do you think about it?
I think about it when my kids are in school. I think about it when we're at a sporting event. I think about it when we go to a mall, to an airport. It's just kind of one of those things that it's on your mind. I wanted my kids and other kids that if they were in a situation where it may be an active shooter situation or a mass shooter situation, that they could help. Hi, guys.
Which is why we find ourselves in this classroom with these adorable third graders who are about to get a lesson in a way that I've never seen before. They're going to learn how to stop the bleed.
I want you to think about that. You guys have the knowledge and the power to save somebody's life by knowing this. You could save somebody's life. How does that make you feel?
Amazing.
I love that word, amazing. You're right, it makes you feel amazing. So that's what we're teaching you to do today, is we're teaching you how to save somebody's life. Okay, so after we call
Kate is now part of a grassroots movement among trauma specialists backed by the American College of Surgeons and the American Red Cross to teach these skills to young children. The likelihood of a child dying in a school shooting may be rare, but a child dying from a firearm is not. In 2021, guns were the leading cause of death for young people under 18 in the United States, making up 19% of all children's deaths. Stop the Bleed training was born in the aftermath of Sandy Hook, when a panel of trauma specialists from around the country determined that turning bystanders into immediate responders could very well save lives. What is staggering, though, is that for the past 6 years, Kate has been teaching kids as young as kindergarten how to pack a wound and stop bleeding.
So if you see somebody who's hurt and there's a puddle of blood next to them, that's one of the things you're going to look for. So everybody say puddle. Yes.
Kindergarten, it just seems so young to think about putting, pressure on a wound, trying to stop the bleeding, but they seem to understand what you're saying.
As long as we present it in a way to them that is non-threatening, it's not scary, they roll with the information very well. If I have a cut and the blood comes out like a sprinkler, it goes, we kind of take away that active shooter part and just say, look, we're teaching bleed control in what can happen in the home, or just when you're out on your day-to-day environment. You think if they got cut with one of those saws that might cause them to get hurt pretty bad? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take what we have and we're going to pack it inside.
For the younger students, she emphasizes packing the wound deeply,
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to hold pressure.
keeping in mind that with injuries like gunshot wounds, the bleeding often happens deep, so superficial pressure alone won't be
Do you
enough.
think you're strong enough to do this? Yeah. So I'm just going to have you guys put your knee on it. It'll make it a little bit easier for you and you won't get tired. Good? Okay.
So do you feel like you'd be good now if you had to actually do that?
Yeah, I think I would be ready to help anyone.
Wow. What's the best part of that for you?
The feeling when you get to see them go to the hospital and know that they're okay, and the feeling that you saved someone's life.
We're going to go high and tight.
For those that are older, like these 6th graders, including Kate's own daughter, she also teaches them to use
You're going to
tourniquets.
twist this until the bleeding stops.
None of this is easy. Empowering, yes, but sad that the training has become increasingly necessary.
The question about gun violence came up today in the 6th grade class. What goes through your mind when you know that topic has now been broached?
What I try to do is I acknowledge it because it's real. But I'm very aware and cognizant of not spending my time on the gun violence part. But it also tugs at my heartstrings a little bit, for sure, with the kids, that's even on their mind.
In a world where we already teach our kids to run, hide, and fight during active shooter drills, teaching elementary students how to control bleeding may become as useful as stop, drop, and roll.
I was watching you today, and it was emotional a little bit for me, even as a trauma surgeon, to think that you're teaching kids to do things that, I don't know, I just feel like it's sad that kids would have to learn that.
Initially, when I first started it, it used to. And I think I've really worked hard to take that emotion out of it. When I say that emotion, it's because I feel like when I would initially go into that with that kind of feeling, I just found that I couldn't teach the information in a way that it resonated with them. It was being taught out of fear from me, and I don't want that. If we can teach it like teaching hands-only CPR or how to use an AED, like it just becomes part of what we do. It can be used in all situations, whether it's a violent situation or it's not. But either way, it's saving somebody's life. Sit up nice and tall, and what do? Pat yourselves on the back.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Rockland, California.
All right, you guys saved their life.